Elise, what is up? How are you?
Hi, I'm alive and healthy. How are you?
I'm great. It's a crazy time right now.
It is.
And for those of you who are watching, if you don't know Elise and I, we've been friends for what? Just under a decade, maybe more than a decade now.
You came to Australia and you were like half the height that you are now. So,
Totally. I was a baby and you took me to the zoo and showed me koalas and
uh,
kangaroos. It was
yeah.
amazing and great. Your parents are great friends with our parents, and it's just kind of been this life, the pastor's kid life. And
Yep.
now you're on staff with Oasis LA, which is an amazing church, one of the pastors there. And you're also a part of Lightworkers, which talk to us a little bit about what Lightworkers is. I know we don't have a ton of time, but I'd love to hear a little bit about that.
Yeah. So one of the pastors just do stuff at Oasis, which right now no one has a title anymore.
Yeah.
What you guys do. So I just do stuff. And then honestly, same now with Lightworkers. You know, I've been a content creator for them for a while, and just Lightworkers' whole goal is just to spread light online, which right now is needed more than ever. And so I came on the team.
You're in LA now. What's going on in LA? Obviously, we can read magazines. One of the reasons why I want to do this is like what's actually happening in your city. Like what's going on? You just got locked down, or what does that mean?
Yep. Yeah, it's been crazy, man. It's every minute feels like a new update, to be honest. And yeah, so I've been in Los Angeles for this is my 7th year, and the number of perfection slash coronavirus. And so I, right now, Mayor Garcetti, who is phenomenal, he's actually a really good friend of our churches, one of the most phenomenal leaders I've ever seen in my life. He just announced last night the Safer at Homes initiative, which, unless it is an emergency, stay home basically is what they're asking for us for a month. So
Wow.
30 days we're here, so nothing's open. I have a Ralph's, a grocery store just down the street here, and it's one of the biggest ones in our area, except
Amazing.
there's no hand sanitizer or paper towel or anything like that. They restock it every day, but it's a real thing when we're kind of like posting stuff like, hey guys, don't hoard, there's enough. That you can definitely feel that in the city. But yeah, everyone's at home. There's no traffic. It's a very unusual Los Angeles right now. It's so interesting from a like millennial standpoint, because we are, I guess, in so many aspects, such a young city, such a busy city. You talk about the hustle and people think Los Angeles, New York, like it's a very short list, like one of the top on there for just being busy. And so people don't know what to do because suddenly they have time and are in one spot. And to be honest, like a lot of people don't know how to sit still. We don't hibernate. Like you guys have a winter like nobody's business. Like you guys just keep, like, you're obsessed with winter, which I love that for you. I'm good, but I love that for you
Yeah, we
guys.
just stay inside for 6 months, so we're used to it.
Yeah, you guys are like the groundhogs. It's insane. But I like, for us, we don't know how to hibernate, because if you think about it, it's always summer. And when it's winter, it's like you guys laugh at us. Like there's one cloud in the sky and suddenly we're in scarves and beanies and like making it fashion, you know? But we don't know how to do seasons. So I think that's what our city right now is faced with, is a lot of these people that are almost, as well, you're seeing it rebelling against it. And I don't think they're trying to be malicious at all. I think they just don't know how to be still. So it's really interesting. You think about all the memes and that kind of thing. It's basically always just the opposite of reality. So it's like before this week, every meme is like, why can't I have an eighth day in the week? Or like, what if I worked from home like forever? That'd be the best. Like, I don't know, that would be the worst meme ever. I don't know, but like, you know, just these, everyone was wanting rest, and suddenly you have this opportunity to rest, but you take away the control of it in a sense, and people, it's not a fun feeling. I had my own moments last night of processing it in between, you know, racing down to the church for us to film as many services as we could before midnight, to then get back home, because that was when the stay at home initiative began midnight last night. And so we want to honor our leaders as well. But I understand that feeling of anxiety. I did see a meme this morning of like, I don't know if my shortness of breath is anxiety or the coronavirus. I feel it. I feel it, you know?
Well, we know what Elise has been doing. She's been looking at
Yeah,
memes
that's all
and
I'm like. It's the first few days, I will be the first one to say like that kept it nice and like lighthearted. But at this point, we really have to say, hold up, this is more than an internet sensation. This is a real thing. So now, rather than just being entertained by it, what's the responsibility on us? You know, especially as young people.
I think it's easy for us to miss what maybe God's trying to speak to us in this. And I think there's so many lessons that we could find in this. But is there anything maybe in this season where now you're kind of forced to be at home? Like you said, it's not up to you. The government has told you, and we're respecting our leaders in that way. But is there anything maybe that God has spoke to you in this time, or that maybe he's starting to speak to you as you just kind of been home? It gives you a lot of time to process and maybe listen.
I'm not a girl that has a word for the year, by the way. I'm not like vision board, love that for you. If that's you, go for your life. It's just not me. But I did feel like God spoke to me this year about a year of rest, which, sorry.
Surprise.
Me, and I didn't take that seriously. So now God's like, Elyse didn't listen. So now globe, let's all help it rest. But it actually, funnily enough, didn't feel this like that my world would necessarily slow down, but my internal world was going to slow down. And as I rested, I was going to find that God would give me just literally land things in my lap as I rested. And a couple of days ago when we had it was day one of being home. Before this was like implemented, but our church had said, hey, this is what our mayor is saying, so let's honor it. So I was at home reading Joshua, and Joshua 1:1 is where basically God says to Joshua, hey, Moses, my servant, is dead, so now get up and go to the land I'll show you. And I always read verse 1 to 10. I preached on it. I've written blogs on it, articles, all this stuff. But I kept reading the other day, and it was so interesting how he said, so then Joshua went and told everybody to go, and then they went, and he spoke to the Reubenites and the Gadites, and he said, hey, God is going to have you armed for war, cross over. Everybody's going to watch you cross over, and God's going to give you that peace and rest, and then he's going to give you the land. And once they've seen that you get the land through the rest, they're going to understand what rest is as well through your example, and God's going to give them the land too. And then it says, and then God will allow you all to come back home to your possession. And I felt like God spoke to me about it and was like, Elyse, people don't know how to rest. It's almost like I need to reset things. And once I reset it and people see the things I give my people who have trusted me enough to sit down and rest, they're going to rest. And I'm going to, and listen, I can't prove this biblically, but I just wonder, I don't think God would ever cause the coronavirus, but he would use this time to rest, to reset his church, to understand when you rest and trust me, not just congregation, but pastors and leaders and movements. When you do that and allow me to do what I want to do, then I'll bring you back into meeting together. And I think rather than making church feel like family, I think that God wants to switch it and make family be the church again. And so it's just a bunch of stuff God's speaking to me about at the moment. But we can be anxious. We have every reason to be, in a sense, but we also have no reason to be if we really trust that God's in control. So pretty crazy.
Amazing. Well, I think that's a message for everyone who's listening and saying maybe the season that you're in has been busy, but it's now a mandatory rest. But I think, like you said, whether God is, causing it or not, that's a different conversation. But what he is he's saying, I'm using this for you. I'm using this for young people to maybe fix their eyes off of maybe all the things that are happening. And I said this the other day, but I said for a generation that, can't escape the pace has just escaped you. And it's crazy to look at.
So good. Preach. Oh my gosh. Dude, that's so good.
Well, we're like, time is up, but maybe we can talk again sometime soon. But super grateful for you, praying for you in LA and all that God's doing at Oasis and through Lightworkers and just through your family. And we're grateful for you. And I wish I sounded like you, but maybe someday I reckon I could have an accent like that.
There you go, man. There's that random meme. Oh, I gotta stop looking at memes. Oh my gosh. Like Disneyland's closed, this shop's closed, and then it's like Outback Steakhouse, $6.95. Come in and get your onion rings or whatever it is. Everyone's
unbelievable. Like the Aussies are always open. They ain't afraid.
We're a bunch of convicts. That's what happened to us.
Incredible. Well, Elyse, thank you so much. We appreciate it, and have an amazing quarantine. we know God's going to be speaking to you, and thanks for sharing with us today.
Love you, man.
Yeah, love you too.